Well, good morning, everybody. It's a very bittersweet day today. Um, it was 7 years ago today that my dad went to heaven, and so it's kind of a bittersweet day. I can't believe it's been 7 years. Anyways, um, I just wanted to take a minute. I was just thinking about it. I had a conversation with Marla, my sister, for those who don't know my sister Marla, this morning, and just wanted to remember and share a couple things. It's kind of a strange phenomenon for me because I have a wall over here. Let me see if I can hone you in on that wall. You can't see it. Sorry about this. I wasn't planning on doing this, but see this wall over here? This is kind of my wall. It may seem a little morbid actually, but these are all people that have passed away that I know in the last few years. There's mom and dad, obviously, and me and dad in the middle. And so I just wanted to I want to just honor my dad. It's it is the first commandment with a promise: honor your father and mother. And for me, that has never been a hard thing. I mean, I haven't always honored my father and mother, but I'm saying as far as them and the way they lived, it was not a hard thing to honor them because they were very honorable people. And so, but the phenomenon that I wanted to mention was my love and respect for my parents has only grown since they've died. Now, I don't know why that kind of messes with me, but that kind of messes with me. Like, my honor and respect for my parents has grown since they've died. And maybe it's because hopefully it's because I'm growing. But it just, I don't know, it just seems like it's a beautiful thing, but it's strange. To me, it's strange. I'm not exactly sure why it's strange, but and I just say that because it's true, and I know that, not everyone can say that. Like, some of you didn't have good parents, and so that's a struggle for you. But just to kind of hone in and a couple things about my dad as I was thinking about it. I mean, there's just so many things that I guess maybe I've learned to appreciate fully. My dad and my mom were married for 58 and a half years. I mean, that's a lifetime. 58 and a half years. And they were faithful to each other. I mean, that alone is a beautiful thing, is a miraculous thing. And if there was ever any struggle, I mean, my dad was a human, so I know that he struggled the way us humans struggle. But there was never even any hint of adultery in my home, in my upbringing, and I mean that's honorable. That's the grace of God. That's amazing, you know. And and again, there's a lot of things that I could say. Um, I still remember. I don't know if I've ever communicated this actually, so that others could see, but um, I remember the moment. So when it was a Friday, when Miriam, my sister Miriam, we had cameras set up in mom and dad's apartment, and Miriam had peeked in, and dad was sitting on the floor next to the bed. And so she called Cheryl quickly, and Cheryl was actually, I don't remember whether Cheryl was on her way in She would go in and check on mom and dad. And anyway, she got in there quickly, and dad had basically fallen out of bed somehow, or tried to get out of bed and slipped on the floor and couldn't get up. And he was okay. I say he was okay, but he didn't hurt himself or anything like that. But we knew that something was wrong, so we ended up taking him to the doctors. And that's when the first hospital that we went to, they gave him a favorable, they said, he needs surgery because of a intestinal issue that was going on, and there's like a 50-50 chance of that he would survive it because he was 87 years old. The older we get, our bodies just don't handle something like that. So anyways, I could make this a really long story, but the short of it is, we thought, well, that they gave us, because of the favorable, diagnosis that they gave us, that, there is a 50% chance he would have to have this surgery, but he could survive it and live, several more years. Anyways, they took him over to Syracuse. When we got over to Syracuse, the doctor came out and said, listen, I love to do surgery. I still remember this conversation. I don't remember the guy's name. I appreciated his candor, though. He said, listen, I'm a surgeon. I love to do surgery. But with your dad's age and where he's at, there's a 1% chance that he would have any quality of life if I do this surgery. He probably will die on the table. And I just remember in the moment, being overwhelmed in the moment, because I felt like, I was making a decision that held dad's life in my hands. Now, in reality, and I remember, because I called a friend, I was a mess, actually, because here I am, I feel like I'm holding my dad's life in my hands. In hindsight, I wasn't, because either way I would have gone, even if we had the surgery, it's not very likely he would have survived the surgery. And so we decided we didn't want to put dad through that. So the miracle, amongst many miracles that happened, is they transferred him back to my hometown, Auburn, and got him back to the hospital like the same night, which my sister, Miriam, who said as a nurse, like, never happens. It'd take them a day or two before they could get him back. Which, the good thing about that is my mom didn't know any of this. I mean, literally, mom found out probably not even 24 hours. She found out that her husband was dying, and so that was part of the difficulty and trauma for all of us. But anyways, all that to say, I just had one of those moments of where the reality of my dad is, I'm going to lose my dad, and so that was tough for me personally. That was a tough thing. And so, but even, there's so many things that happened, and dad, my father was the most content human being that I've ever met, like, ever. You give my dad a little worship music and chocolate, and my dad was satisfied. That sounds funny, but but it was true. He was so content. And I guess what I ultimately want to say is, I am so grateful. And if any of you are in the Swartz family didn't know dad, your grandpa or great grandpa, he was a man of honor. He was a man of honor. And I can look back. This may sound strange to say it this way, but my dad showed me how to die. He showed me how to live, but he also showed me how to die. And I literally have been doing things in my own life with my own wife and my family in preparing myself so that, you're never ready to lose somebody that you love, but dad had everything in order. He was a man of honor. And how desperately do we need that today, man? And he was a man that I always was able to respect to this day. And it, you know, I guess this is my video, so I can make it as long as I want to, but wasn't trying to make it long, but one of my gifts is making a long story longer. So I'm telling you, when my dad died, so it's been 7 years, okay? There has not been one skeleton that came out of the closet. There has not been one issue from the past that we all found out and was like, oh, you know, whatever, like, oh my goodness, I had no idea. I mean, he was a man of honor. My father was a man of honor. And I definitely, I mean, talking to the family members who are watching this, is your grandpa, your great grandpa, my father, was a man of honor. He set the bar way up there, guys. I mean, Jesus ultimately has set the bar, but LeRoy Swartz set the bar high for us to strive toward, to grow toward, and listen, if you failed, own it. If you're failing right now, own it. Be honest about it. Get it right. You don't keep going down a road you know is going to hurt you and your family. Hello? Like, what are you doing, man? This life, this life is a vapor. It's a vapor. It's going to be gone. It's gone. Think about that. My dad has lived his whole life and he's gone. It's been gone 7 years. He's gone from planet Earth. But eternity, man, like, I mean, I am 59, so I'm at that place in my life where I'm just seriously considering a lot of stuff, like, you know, and I won't get into all that. Otherwise, this video will be very long. But I'm really examining, what have I done with my life? What am I doing with my life? What have I done with it? What am I doing? And, you know, I mean, I know who I am. I know what I'm called to do. And so I just need to hone into that. And you know, obviously we all need to grow. We always need to grow. But anyways, so I just wanted to put this out. Just wanted to honor my dad again. He was a man deserving of honor. He was a man who never wanted to be the center of attention. Never wanted to, you know, he never wanted any praise or anything like that. But he was a man who deserved honor. And so I am doing what I'm commanded to do, which is honor my father. And I'm so grateful that it was easy because he was such a man of honor. So anyway, so yeah, it was today. It was 3:10 p.m. I still remember it. It was January 21st, 2019 at 3:10 p.m. when Daddy took his last breath. And I'll just end with this. I think I can do it from memory. Give me 1 second. Because I want to quote this. Teach me to number my days. Psalm 90, verse 12. Psalm 90, verse 12. This is an amazing verse to me. Psalm 90, verse 12. This is the New Living... Oh, no, this is the ESV. Actually, I'm going to do it in the New Living because I think that makes it even... I love the New Living. That's my favorite reading translation. Psalm 90, 12. Great verse, man. And maybe this will be... Actually, they're both pretty good, but... you know what? I'm going to do it in the ESV. Okay, this is Psalm 90:12 in the ESV. Listen to this. Let this be a challenge to you, whoever you are, wherever you're at. If you're still breathing, You can still do this. You have the opportunity to do this. It's an amazing verse to me. It says this, teach us to number our days that we may get a heart of wisdom. Teach us to number our days that we may get a heart of wisdom. And wisdom is available, man. It's available to us all. So anyways. All right. I love you all. Thanks for taking a few minutes and watching this. And Daddy, I love you. I'll see you in a few years, and it'll be an amazing day to reconnect and yeah, just I can imagine that day where we can be together and enjoy eternity together. So anyways, let me just say, if you're watching this and you don't know Jesus, today is the day of salvation. Today's the day. You don't have to wait. You don't have to miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it, man. Anyways, all right. Thank you so much. Have an awesome day.